This is lunch at our house. Someone's having peanut butter and jelly. It's Amanda and welcome to my channel Eat Pray Crunch. This is my update for week 20 of my pregnancy. So this week has been entirely uneventful, so this is going to be a pretty lame update, but here we go. So just wanted to take a moment to mention the school shooting that happened in Marysville, Washington last week. We live in Western Washington, so like that hit really close to home for us. And it's just so scary to me that that kind of thing is happening so commonly now. Anyway, I won't go into detail about that in this video, but be sure to check out my other video. Oh, anyway, like I said, really uneventful week this week. So mostly this week, Bill and I have just been trying to get caught up on house stuff, especially since I have a bunch of stuff piled up from being on bed rest still. Like, our laundry is outrageous. I mean, we've kept on top of it, but like the folding has just basically not happened. I'm like really trying to get on top of that now because we just have this like ginormous clean pile at the foot of our bed. Yeah, keeping it real at our house. So yeah, just trying to do that kind of thing, catching up and doing the normal stuff around the house. This last weekend we got together with some of my college friends and that was really nice. I think it's the first time since I got pregnant and since we moved into our new house here that we've actually done something social as a family like that. And I mean, you know, I've seen friends a fair amount the last couple months, just me and Alex, and when I had help and everything. But that was the first time we've had like a group of friends over since we moved here. And it was really nice. It was nice to finally like put our house into use for that purpose now. I feel like we finally have a house that's like good for entertaining. We have space for people now because our last house was so tiny and we did social things, but it was always so cramped and we always felt like, oh, we just can't wait till we can get into a little bit bigger house so we can have space to host people. One of those friends has been a really good supporter of mine, you know who you are. And she has a little guy that's about a year younger than Alex. And it's nice that we're like in that same phase of life now. I feel like we've bonded over all things parenting now. So yeah, it was nice to just do something social this last week. So while we're talking about stuff around the house, let me tell you that women are not the only ones that get the nesting instinct. Let me tell you that men get the nesting instinct too. Oh my God. Just in the last few days, Bill has been getting home from work and he has like all of a sudden had this huge burst of motivation and energy to like get stuff done. He's like assembling these shelves in our attic and he's trying to get the huge pile of unpacked boxes out of the garage and like into the attic and trying to, he's like, let's get something done every night. Let's unpack one box every night. Let's get going, you know? And I'm like, wow, you're even more motivated than I am. So I'm really glad that he's been so motivated lately. He's like, I hope this rubs off on you. I'm like, me too. You know, I really had the nesting bug hit a couple weeks ago, but it hasn't really hit me again since. So hopefully it will rub off on me and we'll really start turning this house into a home in time for baby to get here. So, pregnancy stuff. Yeah, this week honestly has been so uneventful in terms of pregnancy stuff too. I have been feeling baby girl move a lot more this week, so that's been really reassuring to me. You know, I mentioned before that I have the anterior placenta, so it makes it harder for me to feel her movements because so much the front of my belly is covered by placenta and I can't feel her there. But this last week it's been really reassuring because I have been feeling the little kicks on each side. Some days she's definitely more active than others, but I'm really glad that we're getting to that phase now, like where I can feel her on a pretty regular basis. And on the days when she's less active, I worry just a little bit, and I get my fetal Doppler out, and oh, sure enough, there's her heartbeat, she's fine. Definitely moving into that phase of the pregnancy, and that's one of my favorite things about pregnancy is feeling baby move in there. It kind of makes the whole thing seem a lot more real. It's like you know in your head that you're pregnant, you have these pregnancy symptoms and everything, but you still go about your daily life. When you feel those kicks, it's like, oh yes, there is this tiny little person in there, and oh, this is so cool what's going on right now. Another symptom is I'm still getting that hip pain when I sleep. I'm expecting that will probably just be there from here on out. So still dealing with that. And in terms of cravings, the same one as before. I cannot get enough oranges. I seriously am eating like 1 or 2 oranges a day. I usually eat one before bed, like with yogurt, and oh my god, it is so good. And the other thing I really craved this week was goat cheese. Before we changed our diet, I had a lot of food sensitivities and I couldn't have regular like cow dairy. So I consumed a lot of goat dairy back then. And so I do really love goat dairy, and we still eat it now and then. I've just been really having a hankering for that like crumbly goat cheese. And I've been putting it on crackers, like eating it with avocado and putting it on toast with honey. It's so yummy. I think I've also mentioned before, but I have noticed in the last year or so that I think I've developed a sensitivity to refined sugar. We just eat so little refined sugar in our diet that when I do have it, I have this like almost allergic reaction. Although not always is the thing. It's like, I had some pumpkin pie this last week, that same college friend made. Is so good. It was amazing. And that didn't really bother me. But I ate some cookies that had some artificial dye in them and they tasted so good. But afterwards I had this like crazy reaction. And this has happened before. I remember when I was at my grandpa's, it happened one time. I ate this cobbler that they made, and I think they put like a red dye in it as well. And so I'm just wondering if it's like a combination of refined sugar and artificial food dyes together just give me this like really unpleasant reaction. Yeah, the reaction I get is like my face all of a sudden gets like really hot and sweaty. And I'm the kind of person that like doesn't even normally sweat very much. It takes a lot for me to sweat, but so I can tell that it's like really a reaction because it's like my face is just like pouring sweat. It's really kind of gross and weird. And I just feel like my eyes are dilated and I feel a little bit nauseous, and I just feel like my whole body kind of has this like almost like blood vessel dilated kind of uncomfortable feeling. And yeah, I just had to like lay down on the couch. Goat cheese was actually the antidote to it. I had Bill make me some toast with goat cheese on it, and for some reason like that really made it feel better. And I had some like ginger tea for my stomach. Really wondering if it's especially the food dyes, because I've had this happen before. But I mean, I guess if I have to be allergic to something, like that's not a bad thing to be allergic to, because I probably shouldn't be eating a lot of artificial stuff anyway. But you know, still kind of annoying because every now and then we do like to eat treats. So I guess we'll just have to stick with the more naturally sweetened and non-dyed treats. Speaking of treats, Halloween is coming up on Friday. Woohoo! I got a really cute costume for Alex, and I will show that to you in my update next week. So stay tuned for that. I think we're gonna take him trick-or-treating for the first time this year. Just on our street. We live on a short little private drive, and we actually haven't had an opportunity to meet many of our new neighbors yet, and so we're like, what a perfect occasion for us to go meet some of our neighbors. So yeah, we're just gonna do that, just take him to the couple houses that are down the street. Since we're pretty crunchy, like we really do try to avoid like the really processed candies and all of that. So we're still gonna let Alex like get them, but like he's not old enough to even know what they are yet. So we'll probably just like give them away or throw them away or something. But we are trying to figure out like what we want to do in the future, because Halloween is like this like orgy of all this like candy and food that's like so bad for you. And it's like, I don't want to be that mom that's like, my kid can't have any treats on Halloween. Like, I still want to let them have some of that stuff. I'm not going to be like that ridiculous about it. At the same time, like, I don't want them to eat that much of this junk, you know what I mean? I don't know, I've heard some good ideas before, like when they get a little older you can have them trade in their candy as like currency, and you know, each piece of candy can be 10, 25 cents or whatever, and then you can, you know, exchange that for money for them and say, we're going to go get a special Halloween treat for you from your candy. And so I like that idea, so they can still get something special and fun, but they're not ingesting all the nastiness. So something that I'm thinking about in the future anyway. But that also makes me think, like, we're finally in a neighborhood. Like, before, the house that we lived in before was a place where there were 0 trick-or-treaters because it was off of an extremely busy street where people were zooming by at 50 miles an hour and there were no shoulders, no sidewalks, so we weren't going to get any trick-or-treaters. But now we live in a neighborhood where Halloween is clearly a big thing. You just walk around the neighborhood and you can tell that Halloween is a big thing by how people decorate their houses and everything. And so I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting trick-or-treaters this year. But, you know, us being the crunchy people we are, it's like, I really want to, you know, give out like yummy treats, but I also don't want them to be like really bad for you treats. And so, like, I don't know, like, those of you who are of the similar crunchy mindset, like, what do you guys do during Halloween? Do you just say like, oh, screw it, during Halloween we'll just give out the junk candy? Or do you like give out something that's a little bit healthier? Like, I don't know. At the same time, I don't want to also be like, you know, the lame house like that gives out raisins or whatever. Like, I still want to give out something that's like a really good treat, but like it's not, you know, and it's not lame, but at the same time I don't want it to be like completely full of junk. And so I don't know, if you guys have any good ideas for what to give out for like a good treat that's also not too unhealthy, leave a comment below, because I would love to know. I need to go to the store and get something for Halloween night. Anyway, that's it for this week, you guys. Like I said, real short update. I'll probably have a little bit more interesting update next week. I'll be able to show you Alex's little Halloween costume and all that. So anyway, stay tuned for that. Yeah, so I'll show you my belly now. All right, guys, here's the belly from the side and the other side. I'm finally getting to wear one of my maternity shirts that I got from my maternity haul, which I will have linked down below as well. So anyway, that's it, you guys. I hope you have an awesome Halloween and enjoy your kiddos and all the trick-or-treating and the parties and everything. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do so below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button, and we will see you next week. Bye!